Hi everybody, welcome to another math lesson about fractions. So the last time I taught the lesson about comparing fractions, several of you did not do the assignment right, so we have to review it, okay? So fractions have two parts. The top part is called the numerator, and the bottom part is called the denominator, okay? The bottom part is called the denominator, and it tells us how many pieces there are. Like this shape is divided into 4 pieces. The top part is the numerator. The numerator is the number on top. It tells how many pieces we are thinking about. So we are thinking about 1 out of 4 pieces, 1/4. Okay? So now, the denominator tells us how many pieces the whole thing is divided into. This is 3 pieces, 1 out of 3. This is divided into 4 pieces, 1 out of 4. This is divided into 6 pieces, 1 out of 6 is shaded. Look at the size, 1/3. 1/4, 1/6. How does it look? Big, a little smaller, the smallest one on this page, right? So when the denominator increases, the bigger the number here in the denominator is, the smaller one piece is. See, if we're dividing it into 3, 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4 is smaller, 1 out of 6 is even smaller. Let's look at it some more. There's 1 out of 2. Look at 1 out of 3 getting smaller. 1 out of 4 smaller. 1 out of 6. Look, 1 out of 8. As the denominator gets larger, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, what happens to the size of the pieces? Look at this, big, smaller, 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 smallest. So as the denominator gets bigger, the size of the piece gets smaller. Look at this candy bar. Remember, fractions mean equal sharing, equal parts. Think of sharing this chocolate bar with your friends. If you share with one friend, that means 2 people, 1, 2. How much chocolate will you get? Here's our divider line. Look at this is yours. This is there in half, right? Let's go to the next slide. If you share with 3 friends, now you've got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 people. Oh boy, right? So there's 1. Let me see if I can duplicate. Yep. 2. Sorry, trying to get it up there. Yep. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, right? Because you've got 3 friends and you, that's 4 people. Look at when you only split with one person. Look how much bigger your piece of candy was. Look at it. It's only 1 row now. The more parts you divide it into, the smaller one part is. Okay, remember, the more pieces a whole is divided into, the smaller the pieces are. This is 1 out of how many? 1, 2, 3. 1 out of 3. This is 1 out of 6. Look at the difference. Isn't that bigger? If you were having a pizza, you would want this one. Yum. Okay, a large denominator means smaller pieces. 8 pieces. The denominator is 8. This would be 1 out of 8. This is just split into 2 pieces. The denominator would be 2, and one piece would be 1 out of 2, or half. So 1/2 is bigger than 1/8. A small denominator means larger pieces. This is 1 out of 3. This is 1 out of 6. When you only divide it into 3 pieces, it's bigger. 1 piece is bigger than when you divide it into 6. Let's look at this, huh? So this is 1 out of 4, and this is 1 out of 2, so it's a half. We are trying to find out if 1/4 is bigger or smaller, greater than or less than half. What do you think? It's less than, right? Because look at this piece is much smaller, right? It's less than. Let's do one more. A few more. Remember, a large denominator means the pieces are small. So look at 1/6 and 1/2. Which one is bigger? The half. So when we read this, we say 1/6 is less than 1/2. Look at this one. Okay, so here we go. This is 1/8, 1 out of 8, and 1/4. Which one is bigger? The 4th is bigger, so 1/8 is also less than. Okay? So this number in the denominator is bigger, this number is smaller, but 1 piece out of 8 is less than 1 piece out of 4. All right. Let's look at this one. This is a half, 1 out of 2, and 1 out of 3. What do you think? Which one is bigger? The half is bigger. Half is bigger than a third or greater than. Okay? I'm going to switch to a different PowerPoint. Here we go. Now we've got more practice. 1/3 and 1/5. What do you think? 1/3 is bigger, greater than 1/5. 1/6 and 1/4. Which one is bigger? The 1/4 is bigger. Remember, the opening or the mouth eats the bigger piece. We read this as 1/6 is less than 1/4. We did that already. Okay, let's do it with just numbers. Okay, 1/7 and 1/3. So 1 piece out of 7 is smaller than 1 piece out of 3. 1 piece out of 10 is smaller. See, I know it says 7 here, but 1 out of 7 is less than 1 out of 3. 1 out of 10 is less than 1 out of 5. Okay, 1 out of 3, a third, is less than half. How about 1 out of 8? 1 out of 8 is more than 1 out of 10. 1 out of 8 pieces is more than 1 out of 10 pieces. How about 1 out of 5? 1 out of 5 is less than 1 out of 3. Okay, now we're going to switch to ones that have the same denominator. We've got 5 pieces out of 8 and 1 piece out of 8. Which one is bigger? You guys did okay on that. The 5 is bigger. If they have the same denominator, you're just looking at the numerator, the top. 5 is bigger than 1. Same here. 4 out of 6 and 3 out of 6. 4 is greater than 3. 2 more examples. There's 2 out of 10 and 1 out of 10. 2/10, 1/10. 2/10 are bigger than 1/10. And same thing here. All my examples are bigger. Oh well. 4 out of 5 is bigger, greater than 3 out of 5. If you have the same denominator, same number at the bottom, then you just compare the tops. 4 is greater than 3. Okay, that's it for the actual lesson. Now we have to look at the assignment. So here's our assignment. It is very similar. I just changed the numbers and the date than the last assignment because the students who turned it in did not do it all right. So we're going to try again. Okay, so we're going to do one together if it'll let me. So I'm trying to get a little pen here. I think I got it. 1 out of 7 compared to 4 out of 7. What do you think? 1 piece out of 7 and 4 pieces out of 7. Look, the denominators are the same. So we're just looking at the numerators. 4 is greater than 1. You see that? You got to think about this one. This is 1 out of 8. This is 1 out of 6. Which one would be the bigger piece? Okay, think about it. And the numbers are the same. You know how to read this. You're filling it with greater than or less than. That's it for today's lesson. See you next time. Bye.